moment I understood the weakness of my flesh. It disgusted me. I craved the strength and certainty of steel.
Cybernetics, implants, augments, they all describe the same thing: mechanical replacements or additions to the human body. With how fast technology is moving forward today, it seems certain that we all are going to run around with some shiny chrome in a few decades' time. Or at least that is what pop culture makes us believe. But would it really work the way we imagine it? And what are the problems of replacing your flesh and bones with metal and composites? Of course, this is a far larger topic than a short YouTube video can handle, if you think about the wide array of implants and augments people have thought up. Not to talk about the social and economic impacts, influences on weapon tech, and so on. To keep it manageable, we are going to look at one specific and popular example, the arm implant. To make it even more specific, we are looking at heavy-duty and combat applications, not just limb replacements. That means high power, durability, protection, and also speed and control. So, we are a bit in the future and have the tech to make ourselves a fancy arm implant. Let's go wild! No. Truth of the matter is that there is only very little design space when it comes to arm implants, and Mother Nature figured this out by trial and error. Extra bits and bobs might look stylish, but make movement more sluggish or limited, offer attack opportunities for enemies, and cause problems with force distribution. Something like this will not do. It looks pretty powerful, and if you would ever hit somebody, it would be devastating. But in reality, this cumbersome thing would not be able to move quickly or precisely. And boy, would this fuck up your stability and sense of balance. It is just a big piece of junk metal stapled onto your shoulder. In this state, even a high schooler could beat him up. And for another example for this problem, Glory, girl, I love you to pieces, but those arms will be the death of you. How do you get through the day? Try to make yourself a sandwich with these claws, or use toilet paper. Wash your hair or put on your own clothes even. Cybernetic arms still need to be multifunctional. It's nice if you can carve up your enemies, but if you have to give up your basic ability to live for it, it's just not worth it. Realistically, cybernetic arms need to be very close to the original design, to not impede you more than they can help you. Also, by the love of God, sort out these cables and tubes. You really do not want to expose important parts of your implant to your enemy. Now look at this. Proper arms, even with artificial muscles as it seems. Everything is fine. Not. What did you expect? We are only at problem 2, of course it's not fine. Connecting your cybernetic arm to the body is more involved than most think. For one, just sticking it to the shoulder like here does not work. You need a strong anchor to hold the normally heavier arm implant and also to translate the force from the arm into the body. If you fail to do that properly, the next time you make a full power swing, you might just tear out your arm, which is inadvisable. An example where this was actually done well is Adam Jensen from Deus Ex. You can clearly see how much of the shoulder was removed and how deep the anchoring goes. But that is not all. Let's go back to this picture. The sharp-eyed viewer might have realized that there is a fundamental problem with this arm implant. Correct, you cannot lift it at all, because you lack any muscles reaching over the shoulder. You can try this for yourself. Just T-pose for a bit and you will feel how your muscles from your shoulders will start to burn. Arm implants are also shoulder implants because you need the muscles here to move the arm around. This makes the implants far more intrusive than you would think at first. As a side note, connecting inorganic components to your organic body is complicated. Many unfriendly things can happen. Inflammation and sepsis are only two of them. Medical and material science have made big improvement in this area over the years, and we can expect more to come. This problem can be greatly increased, so if you have strong multi-directional dynamic forces straining the connecting area, like for example with really powerful arm implants that then shock through your body every time you smash your iron fist into your enemies. If this problem cannot be fully resolved, you might look at maintenance intervals where your implants and anchoring needs to be removed to avoid a painful death from sepsis. Also, you cannot stop T-posing to me. We all know how strong you are. Moving on. One moment. Adam? Could you just come over for a second? And now flex your arm like this. Good. And look a bit menacing. Yes, perfect.
I never asked for this.
Yes, we know. Adam's arm implant does look pretty good based on what we have been discussing, but there is a deep-rooted problem. To explain it, I need you to cooperate with me for a moment. Yes, you have to take part in this video. Deal with it. Close your eyes and stretch out your arm somewhere to the side. Good. Now, can you tell me where exactly your arm is? Hand, elbow, direction, the whole thing? How? It is the strain on your muscles and tendons, the stretching of your skin and the blood pressure in your veins. It is a myriad of small information points that your brain gathers from a multitude of nerves in and outside of your arm. And it is what nearly all arm implants are missing. Tactile nerves in the fingers are good and necessary, but controlling an artificial arm without a wide array of nerve information is doable, but far from efficient. Pulling off high-speed, complex and dynamic movements is out of the question. This alone pushes functional arms cybernetics as we see it in fiction far further into the future. Okay Adam, you hogged the screen for long enough. Let's bring another guy. If we're looking at combat applications like for the Winter Soldier, we can expect the arm to be reinforced or even armored. Depending on tech levels, some form of metal or composite with metal would be used. Add in the weight of the mechanical arm itself, and we can expect something that is easily 10 to 15 kilograms heavier than the original organic arm. And that is a massive problem. While your augmented arm itself will be designed to deal with the weight, the rest of your feeble human body is not. Imagine taping 15 kilograms of weight to your arm and getting through a normal day. It will take no time at all before your body starts to scream in agony. Your muscles, your tendons, bones, everything will be overused, and not symmetrical either. Even your spine will over time be bent, and the increased wear and tear of your joints will give you the experience of a far older person. Arthritis, anybody? Realistically, the weight of an arm implant cannot exceed your biological capabilities by much, putting heavy restraints on the durability and protection of the implant. And don't get started with vibranium. Magic materials do not exist in our world. But wait, we are not done yet with heavy metal. The Winter Soldier has this very shiny metal arm, and it would totally kill him in winter. Why? Because metals have a very high heat conductivity. If it is freezing outside and you have a big lump of metal directly connected to your body, your torso no less, it will drain the warmth out of you, leaving you to die of exposure very quickly. And in very hot climates, you will collapse because of overheating. Ever touched a piece of metal that sat in the sun in summer? You can burn yourself on that. So, what is the solution to this? Well, composite materials that only use low amounts of metals and have a far lower heat conductivity and density. This comes at the price of raw performance, but that is still better than, for example, freezing to death. The idea of the metal arm is very much dead. Of course, your implants need a power source, and as long as you do not intend to cart around a small generator to keep you going, batteries it is. But where to put them? We already talked about design restraints, and a battery large enough to sustain your implant for hours or days is far too big to just tag it on. Besides, that would also expose your energy source to attacks. This is also the main problem of external batteries like a backpack or a pouch that is connected by wire to your implant. Hit the battery or cut the wire and your arm becomes useless instantly. What is left is an internal battery. Installing it in the arm means either giving up crucial structural space or increasing the volume of the arm, by doing so inviting a lot of new problems. Both options are not very desirable. Last place left is the rest of your body. An internal battery crammed into your upper body. Accessible enough to recharge, to perform maintenance, and also not get in the way of, you living. As a bonus for this variant, you can live in constant fear that a heavy blow at the wrong spot could damage the battery and highly toxic materials enter your body, causing you to die in a very slow and painful way. If we allow ourselves to add a few more decades to technological progress, then there might be options like decentralized energy storage or biochemical energy conversion. The later one was actually used in Deus Ex for Adam Jensen. You remember this from the start of the video? Here comes the bad news. Against everything you have been told or seen in fiction, arm implants actually do not increase your strength significantly. If you have experience with physics or are a martial artist or athlete in general, you might already know this. Having one really strong arm does in truth not help you very much. If it is lifting or punching, ultimately a lot of muscle groups spread over your whole body are heavily tasked for each of them. Lift up an object and hold it at arm's length, and you will soon feel how a lot of muscles outside of your arm are working very hard. In boxing, for example, kinetic chain is a very well-known concept, talking about power transition from your feet up to your fist. Only total noobs punch just with their arms. But it gets even worse. We can imagine installing a really powerful arm, maybe with a special contraption that allows us to power punch to circumvent the problem. Again, physics comes along and ruins our fun, because actio and reactio. While you smash your enemy, the shockwave of the impact is also running through your arm and into your body. Make it strong enough and the implant and your body will get damaged. A problem heavy puncher in boxing know all too well. So, free yourself from the idea of the super strong cyber warrior who just by virtue of having a cybernetic arm can do superhuman things. As long as the implant is connected to an organic body, you will still face human limits. Still, to not give you the wrong impression, a well-constructed cybernetic arm would be a great source of power. Brass knuckles are deadly enough weapons, and they're nothing compared to an augmented arm. You really do not need the strength to smash walls, to fracture a skull or rupture organs. And one thing such an arm would offer is often overlooked. Grip strength is to 100% dependent on just the strength of your hands, and as such, sufficiently powerful cybernetics would allow you to crush even bones with ease. I hope this was interesting for you, and if you're interested in a follow-up discussing different implants for example integrated weapons, let me know in the comments. If you want to know how I tackled this problem in my own universe and game system, take a look at the other videos here in the channel or take a look at the official website. See you soon!